The inaugural World Test Championship final is just around the corner, and while it's been a tough journey through the 2-year cycle of the WTC, it's been India and New Zealand that have sealed their spots in the final, and they've done it in style as well. Now, most of this side picks themselves coming into this final in England, but given the conditions, given the fact that India will have a full-strength squad, there are still a few gaps and a couple of spots up for grabs. So here at Man's Life with me, Suhail Chandhok, we thought we'll give you India's probable 11 going into the World Test Championship final up against New Zealand at Southampton. Now, it starts with just one man right at the top of the order, and that is Rohit Sharma. Rohit Sharma will continue to be one of the key men for Team India coming into this World Test Championship final. He's been one of the most prolific run scorers through this period as well, and he scored over 1,000 runs at an astonishing average of over 64 through this period for India. Up alongside Rohit Sharma is where one of the spots under the scanner come into play, and we think that India will stick with SHUBMAN Gill. He was incredibly impressive down under with the swing and the pace of Cummins, Stark and Hazlewood, but he then struggled with just 150 in 7 innings versus England at home. We do think that India will stick with young SHUBMAN Gill, the Punjab batsman, over KL Rahul, who's recovering from injury, and also Mayank Agarwal. Coming in at number 3 is the modern-day wall of Indian cricket, CHETESHWAR Pujara. He happens to be the glue that binds this entire batting unit together, and he scored 818 runs in this World Test Championship with 950s, but his last Test century came 28 innings ago, and that is something he will want to change and get that big 100 when it matters most. Coming in at number 4 is none other than the heart and soul of this Indian team, the Indian skipper Virat Kohli. Now, he should be hoping that he can continue the form from England in 2018, where he had 2 Test hundreds, over 550 runs in the 5 innings there. But also, he'll want to continue his good run versus New Zealand, because coming into this World Test Championship final, he's got an average of over 50 versus the Kiwis, and that will give him plenty of confidence to find that elusive 100 that's been avoiding him for the last year and a half. In at number 5 is India's vice-captain and the man who has dominated the World Test Championship for India. He is the highest scorer in this format in the World Test Championship, and he's also been the man that took over the reins from Virat Kohli when Virat left Australia as well. That 100 in Melbourne was special. He averages close to 45 away from home, and under pressure, this is the man that will have to find a way to grind out the runs and keep India performing under pressure. India's maverick superstar Rishabh Pant has cemented his spot in this Indian side at number 6, and he's done so in incredible fashion. Incredible runs in historic fashion as well versus Australia down under. He backed that up with great keeping as well, and also fabulous batting versus England at home in India, and he's risen in ranks up to number 6 in the ICC World Test rankings. He's India's top scorer in Tests in 2021, and he's the X factor for Team India coming into the World Test Championship final. Next up is the number 3 ranked all-rounder in Test cricket, the man who is a once-in-a-generation cricketer for Team India, Ravindra Jadeja, the man who can turn a game on its head with the bat, with the ball and on the field as well. He actually averages 61 in Test cricket since 2019, and he has been fabulous for India in every single game that he's set foot on the field in. This is a man like Rishabh Pant who happens to be that X factor that Team India love to have, and he's back in the side for the inaugural World Test Championship final. At number 8 is India's highest wicket taker in the World Test Championship so far, RAVICHANDRAN ASHWIN, who has been fabulous versus Australia down under, versus England as well, and is a true-born match winner for Team India. He has been incredible with the guile, with the artistry of his off-spin as well, and the left-handers better watch out when he comes to this inaugural World Test Championship final, because Ash will be licking his lips with that red cherry in his hand. Mohammed SHAMI makes his return to this Indian Test side after recent injury troubles, and he could prove to be an absolute handful in overcast conditions versus the Kiwis in England. Now, this is a man who's been a revelation as Shami 2.0, fitter, faster, and he's kept that brilliant seam position and metronomic line and length as well, which could really trouble the Kiwi batsmen. 36 wickets in just 11 matches at an average of 17 That is the reason why Ishant Sharma has become the leader of this Indian pace attack, even with JASPRIT Bumrah in the mix. He has been simply sensational throughout the World Test Championship for India, and that is why, for me, he just about edges Mohammad Siraj out in this probable 11. And finally, rounding out the probable 11 is Virat Kohli's ace of pace, Jasprit Bumrah. He's picked up 34 wickets through the World Test Championship. He has been incredible with his match-winning abilities as well for Team India, and in helpful conditions in England, this man is going to prove to be an absolute handful for the Kiwi batsman. There you go. That is our probable 11 for Team India taking on New Zealand in the inaugural World Test Championship final, and we can't wait for all of the action to unfold. But meanwhile, stick around and head across to manslive.in for the best content from the world of sport, auto, lifestyle and entertainment.